In this video, we will be discussing about elasticity of demand. Now, till now, we have learnt about law of demand. Now, law means something which is universally true. The law tells that all other factors affecting demand, if it is constant, then it studies the relationship between price and quantity demanded. And it is found that with rise of price, the variable quantity demanded decreases, and with decrease of price, quantity demanded increases. So this was studied and it was found, it was universally true that every rational consumer acts in the similar fashion, that with rise of price they decrease their quantity demand, and with fall of price they increase their quantity demand of a certain commodity. But the law doesn't tell that how much the quantity demand changes in response to the price rise or the price fall. So how much is basically quantifying the change in demand. So how much the demand has changed due to, so the law operates, that means when price rises, quantity demand reduces, and when price falls, quantity demand increases. The law only tells this much. But elasticity concept tells us by how much there is change in the quantity demand as a result of price change. So that is why we call it elasticity concept. Elasticity means something which is stretchable. We call that elastic. So if demand is stretchable, means it can be stretched. So if with price rise, if the demand falls much, so it can be, we can say that it is stretched downward too much. So the amount of demand as a result of price fall has fallen to a considerable amount. Similarly, if there is a price fall and if the demand increases in response to the price change by a very larger amount, we call that elastic or highly stretchable. So the law only shows the relationship between price and quantity demanded, and the elasticity concept of demand shows how the demand reacts due to the change in price. So with price rise, quantity demand should always fall. That is given by law. But how much the quantity demand will go down is given by the concept of elasticity. If with a result of price change, the demand goes down too much, we call that elastic or stretchable demand. And if the price, with the price fall, if the quantity demand increases too much, we call elastic demand. So this is known as elasticity of demand. And if with price rise, the quantity demand is falling less, so the law still operates. With price rise, quantity is going down, but by how much? So as a result of price change, the demand is not going down too much. The price have increased by a considerable amount, but the demand is not going down too much. And if with price decrease, the quantity demand increases, the law is operating. But here the quantity demand is not increasing too much due to a change in price. So this time when the demand stretches downward or upward in a very less amount, we call that inelastic demand. That means lesser is its stretchability factor. So with price rise, quantity demand is decreasing, law is followed, but the demand change is very less compared to the, as a result of the price change in both the cases. So the definition of elasticity of demand goes like: degree of responsiveness of quantity demanded as a result of price change. So just due to price change, what is the amount or degree to which quantity demand has responded? Now I will show you how to measure the elasticity of demand. I said that elasticity gives the answer of how much the demand changes. So we can quantify how much the demand changes as a result of price change. So we can also find the number by using certain formula. So price elasticity of demand is written like this. It is a sign of measuring price elasticity of demand. And on top, you are basically studying how much the demand changes as a result of price. So first, in the numerator, percentage change in demand is measured, because that is only our area of focus, what we want to study. Percentage change in demand. Due to which factor? Due to price. So that will be placed in the denominator. Percentage change in price. So elasticity is measured by the formula percentage change in demand by percentage change in price. Now how to measure percentage change in demand? For example, let us suppose that there is an initial price at which you started demanding some amount of the quantity. So it is the initial demand. Now when the price have changed, so the final price will also come up. Your demand pattern changes according to the price. So suppose your quantity demand have changed and this is the final quantity demanded. So how to measure the percentage change in demand? That is change in demand. Delta is the sign of change. Change in quantity demanded. How to measure that? Quantity demanded finally minus quantity demanded initially divided by original quantity. Original quantity means the initial which you wanted before, which you demanded before, and not what you finally want after the price change, into 100. This is the method of measuring percentage change in quantity by original quantity into 100. Similarly, how to measure percentage change in price? Change in price that has occurred, final minus initial gives you the change in price, by original price, that means before the change, initial price, into 100. Now 100 and 100 will get cancelled, top and bottom. Now this turns into a fraction. This is the numerator part and this is the denominator part. So this is the numerator and this is the denominator. So we can write del q by q, and this division sign we can change into multiplication. Rule of fraction, if we change this division into multiplication sign, the denominator changes to its reciprocal. So it becomes p by del p. Now in case of multiplication, if I write 2 into 3 or 3 into 2, that makes no difference because the product is same. Similarly, if I write q into del p or if I write delta p into q, matter is same. The only arrangement that I will do at the end, just to keep all the delta sign or the change factor together. So here you have change in quantity by change in price into, this is the initial price by quantity. It is the formula of calculating price elasticity of demand.